Okay, so Holy Spirit is ministering to me through this show called Is It Cake? And if you haven't watched the show, it's basically like they ordinary items that are built into cake and they have like decoys and you have to figure out which one of them are cake and they look similar. And then there's also like this round that they do where there's this wall that basically turns around and it looks like just regular ordinary objects. Um the last one I just seen was where it was like uh, Arctic animals. So you had penguins, you had narwhals, you had polar bears, and there was two on the first row, three on the second row, and three on the third row. With that being said, you had to pick which one was cake. And so, however you picked whatever one was cake, it was like okay, if it's cake, it's cake. So just in the first row that had a narwhal and it had a polar bear. Now, either one of them could have been cake because there are like very much so master artists that are able to create texture and, like, thus my eyes deceive me, like, really make it look like it's real when it's actually cake. It's something you can eat. So, with that first one, the polar bear and the narwhal, I was thinking, I don't know, because it's like, but then once they got down to it, which one's cake? It turned out that the polar bear wasn't cake and the narwhal was cake. And so I think I was feeling more of the polar bear, but then it was like the narwhal with the way that the waves were. It was like, that one might be cake. Either way, if you picked the polar bear, it wasn't cake. And you can't make it cake just because you thought it was cake. Where the narwhal was cake, if you were right, you were right. But however, in that space, you can't make something that it's not. And you cannot force what you thought it was or what you thought it was going to be. Hence, this space of surrendering what you thought, what you expected, what you hoped for, even the questions that you have, surrendering that on what you all thought everything was to be. See, I do a new thing. Do you not perceive it? We cannot put new wine into old wineskins because those wineskins are old and they're not stretchable. The wine has to expand as it reacts with the sugar. That is why you can't put new wine into old wineskins. And that pertains to putting those new downloads, new instructions, those new things into old mindsets, old ways of thinking, old patterns, and old habits. You can't fit that in there. So Abba or Holy Spirit was just speaking like you cannot make it something that it's not, and you cannot just sit there and be bummed out. Well, I thought that one was cake. I thought that one was cake, especially because they're up for money if they get it right.